Welcome, guys, to another exciting edition of iTalk Movies. We're sitting down with Massi Furlan today as we get into everything Jumanji.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's iTalk Movies.
Ciao, Massi, come stai?
Sto benissimo, grazie per avermi. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno tutto il mondo. No, just kidding. We won't do the whole show in Italian, will we? Will we make them subtitle this?
We can put subtitle. People like Italians.
Maybe not this time, but this is lovely Italian actor Massi Furlan. And Massi, you're here today talking about...
Jumanji, the next level.
Yes. And how was filming that for you?
It was a great experience. We shot in Atlanta. Part of my scene shot in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, it did?
Yes, I was very excited when my agent called me and told me that I booked Jumanji because I was like, oh my God.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Mahalo.
Yeah.
I'm going to Hawaii, but it was Atlanta, which is a fine city.
But it's not, come on, it's not Hawaii.
It's not
like,
Hawaii.
we get the excitement about Hawaii.
I didn't bring the surfboard in Atlanta.
No, Atlanta doesn't, it's not known for its waves.
No, and it was kind of cold too.
Was it? What time of year did you guys film?
Oh, I forgot. I think it was in April, I think.
Okay.
That's
so
April,
temperate
yeah.
weather, but not really like warm. Atlanta gets cold. People don't realize that, but Atlanta does get cold.
Yeah, it gets pretty cold.
How long did you film for?
Oh, I was there for a week the first time. Then I went back 3 weeks later for another few days.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And you play a villain.
Do I?
Do you?
I don't know.
I thought so.
I play Switchblade,
You do play Switchblade.
which is an interesting name.
It is. I love that you keep wearing pink as if that brings like some type of like cheerfulness to Switchblade.
Or maybe I try to mislead people, like I saying previously in other interviews. In this town, if you have an accent, most likely you're eligible to play the villain, to play the bad guy. But then again, I'm Italian, and we all know Italian can wear pink, right?
Absolutely. I think all men can wear pink, but it looks fabulous on you.
All right, thank you.
It does soften up the villain complex,
Right.
or it makes it even more villainous.
We'll see, yeah. Yeah, because people think you're a good guy because you're wearing pink. So it's a nice guy. Look at that. Look at the nice sweater. Yeah.
I guess.
Yes.
So how was the Jumanji premiere for you? It just happened last week.
Yes, it was amazing. It was last Monday, the Chinese theater. It was a great experience. We had a lot of fun, and the movie's super funny. There's a lot of action. The premiere was fantastic. They like they do usually they lock down Hollywood Boulevard. They have this big tent, and we have the reception after the movie right there. It was great. The movie was packed. Actually, I think they added also an additional theater at the Chinese Six upstairs.
Oh,
to
wow.
accommodate everybody. It was like a big request of tickets for that movie. So.
Wow. Well, it was super fun. I mean, the movie itself, if you haven't seen it, you should run out and see it because it's a blast. And speaking of Jumanji, it's a bit of an action comedy. Do you want to do more comedies or?
I would love to do more comedy. I was a stand-up comedian in Italy, and that's what I thought it was my forte. But then when I moved to here to Los Angeles, I've been cast as a villain, the bad guy, 95% of the time. So, but I love comedy.
Well, you heard it here first. He loves comedy, guys. Got to get you some more comedic roles. This is a great franchise to jump into as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and then they might as well probably have another one more coming. And it was great also on set with Jake, the director, Jake Kasdan. He's a big comedy director. I did big comedy movies, and I remember in part of my scene I improvised something that I thought was funny, and the best compliment about my character was from Jake when he liked what I did and he said, "Oh my God, Massi, that is so funny. Do it again." So the guy is a big director, and he approves your improvisation. He liked it, so I was very pleased with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice when you have like a collaborative medium because making a movie is very collaborative. So it's really nice when the director works with you versus just the black and white of the page.
Right.
So for you, what was your favorite scene to film for your character?
Well, the scene with DJ, of course, because he's trying to do something bad with someone that I know, and I wasn't very happy about that, so I
Yeah,
let him have it.
as you
Let's say it
rightfully
like
should
that.
have.
Right.
We also have some fun pictures behind the scenes that you brought in of you and Kevin Hart.
Yes, Kevin was. It was also great work with him. Very nice guy. It feels much better now. I talked to him at the premiere. He had the
The
unfortunate
accident,
accident.
yeah.
Yes, he said that he's 65% back, so
That's
that's
fantastic.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because you guys both look surprised that this photo is happening, but you're taking a selfie. Like at some point you had to have known it was coming.
I know. I tend to do that with my selfie. Always like look surprised and open my mouth. I don't know where that come from, but yeah, I have a lot of pictures of my mouth open. I have to work on that.
No, it's funny. It's like your kid. This is your selfie character.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
yes,
it.
it could be. Yes.
Yeah, but
Look, I
so
have the
you
same hair too. Look, the
So-
same hair, the same mustache.
absolutely. Yeah,
That's me.
it is you. So for filming in Atlanta, getting to go down there for a couple weeks, I know that it was like on and off, like you went and then you left and you came back. Did you get to go out at all in Atlanta?
Oh yes, I went to the zoo, and I tried to steal the panda. Didn't work
No?
out. A lot of security. I'm a panda freak. It's
Really?
yeah. Every time I send emojis, anything I
a
send,
panda.
always a panda, and people kind of are confused because what's the panda has to do with me asking you if you coming to a dinner next week? I like pandas, so I did go to the zoo in Atlanta. I went to the aquarium too. So
Oh, the aquarium is
yeah,
fantastic.
it's very good, very nice.
It's like one of the nicest aquariums I've ever been to.
It's very nice. Yeah, that one, and I went to one in Boston. I think also is pretty good. But the zoo was fun. Like I said, the pandas were there. I tried to steal the pandas at the San Diego Zoo too,
Oh
but
boy.
the security is insane. It's like I think I'm gonna have to go to China. And then
Oh,
try
you
to-
feel like the Chinese would be more lax and just let you
yeah,
take
they
the
have a
panda
lot of
home?
them, right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you could like befriend one in the bamboo jungles of Japan
Yes, maybe. Yeah.
or China. Does Japan also have pandas? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out. What do you think, guys?
I don't know. I actually, after I said Japan, I was like, wait, do they have pandas? I don't know. I know China does.
Okay. Well, let's go to China.
Bamboo forests. Get yourself a panda cub. You can like raise it from birth.
Or I can ask Jack Black. Is familiar with pandas.
What do you mean he's familiar with pandas?
Didn't he play the movie?
Kung
in the
Fu
movie?
Panda.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting yelled at. Kung Fu Panda. Do you know I've never seen the franchise Kung Fu Panda?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Then don't throw me under the bus. No, but I have seen How to Train Your Dragon, which is fantastic. But I digress. We also have some photos from Jumanji from the red carpet, and you were saying that it was so popular that they actually had 2 theaters. And for you as an actor being in the film, it's always so surprising to see like what you film versus what ends up on the screen.
Right.
Being in it, was the premiere your first time seeing the full feature?
Yes. And that was the first time I've seen it. I saw it twice already. I went to the Sony premiere for the cast and crew 2 days after the premiere.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Was that nice though? Because then you get to see everybody again.
Yeah,
that you worked with.
there was a lot of actors that were locals from Atlanta that didn't come to the screening, but most of the crew was there, and Jake, the director, was there, and he made a wonderful speech before the movie, thanking everybody. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's really cool. So now, segueing out of Jumanji, let's talk a little bit about your career because you've been acting for a really long time. So you said you started actually in stand-up in Italy.
Yes.
And then you came here to the States 11 years ago?
No, I came to the States in '98. I went to Miami because my brother was excuse me, an executive chef at the Tiramisu restaurant, very popular Italian restaurant in South
Okay.
Beach. So, and I work in the restaurant industry for a few years. I was training guys how to make pizzas. I helped open a few pizza places. So I was training the guys, making the pizza dough, launching, let's say, the restaurant, making the menu and all that stuff.
That's cool.
That was
Wait,
fun.
so how did you go from stand-up comedy to helping your brother open restaurants and training people in the restaurant industry to acting. How did that become a path for you?
Well, it's always been my passion, to be an entertainer. And like I said, comedy is what I like. I love put a smile on people's faces and making them laugh. So that's what I was doing in Italy. And there was this transition in Miami, working in the restaurant. And eventually I got tired to work in the restaurant and I decided to go back to the entertainment business. I shot one little movie in Miami, and then I got this big commercial with Maria Sharapova, a Canon commercial. And I was saying, okay, I'm ready. Let's go to LA. Terrible mistake.
So you shot one commercial and you were like, that's it.
That's it. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Don't do that, people.
No, yeah. It's like getting to the Olympics when you get here.
I know. And I always tell people, I do a lot of interviews. They ask me, some ideas, some tips. If they want, people that want to be an actor, I wouldn't come to Los Angeles directly to start. I would say Atlanta is the best place in the country to go. There's a lot of TV shows in there. It's the #1 city in the world for feature films. So I would suggest to go there, start building your resume, do some co-stars here and there, and then eventually after a year or two, you can move to Los Angeles with the big fish.
Yeah.
And eventually, then if you like it, you continue. But
that's really good advice.
New Orleans is also great, in Louisiana. So.
And if you're stronger in theater, New York, because there's a lot of working actors that are seen because they're in theater.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, New York and DC. Surprised. DC has a very big theater scene, especially for the classics.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Lots of Shakespeare that goes on there. But so you moved here, and then...
Before I moved here, let's not, because there is one
there's one more
thing
step?
that you don't know.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
before in Italy, before doing stand-up comedy, I was flying helicopters for the Italian army. And I had the pleasure to fly with the Pope, John Paul II.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yes, well, unless you're Jewish and you don't care about the Pope, but
I mean,
it's
I
still
feel like
pretty
even
cool.
if you're Jewish, you know who the Pope is. Like,
Yeah,
you get the significance
it was
of
a
it.
bad joke.
No. I mean, it's a amazing. Wow, that's cool. So you gave the Pope a lift, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Where was he going?
It was going to the Monte Bianco, the highest mountain in Italy. He said a mass in there, so we landed in there. It was pretty cool.
That is really cool. Yeah. And you just took him back to
He gave
the
me
Vatican.
the blessing to be a comedian, and that's how.
Did he really?
No, he gave everybody a blessing. Yeah.
I didn't know. He might have done like, how, in Catholic Mass, they do like accept the blood of Christ and they give you a little dry cracker that tastes like cardboard. I don't know. Like, does the Pope sit down and do that too? I don't know. I've never met the Pope.
Well, he said the Mass in there. I didn't do it directly to me, but yeah, he said a Mass in the mountain. That was pretty cool. And
that is cool. And this is when you were flying helicopters for the Army?
Yeah, we're talking about a few years ago. Yeah.
And then... You kept on doing stand-up, and then your brother was like, come to Miami, have a job.
Come to visit, see how you like it.
Well, I mean, Miami's a great town.
Right.
I mean, that's not a bad place to come if you're coming to the States for the first time.
Absolutely. No, I love Miami, 305.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how many years did you live in Miami then?
10 years. So it will be like 10 years in Miami, 11 years here in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Do you go back to Miami often?
I was there recently, 3 months ago. I was shooting an indie movie. I try to go once a year. Same thing with Italy. So, yeah.
Italy's a little bit longer of a trek. Just a little
longer, yeah.
Where in Italy are you from?
I'm from Treviso, which is near Venice.
Okay.
And I was recently there. I went to Positano for the first time in my life. I see all Americans to go to Positano when they go to Italy, and I'm Italian, I've never been there. So I went, it was a lot of fun. It's great. Positano, the Amalfi Coast. Well, Italy's beautiful. Everybody should go.
I don't think that there is a single area of Italy that isn't photographic. Like, it's just so beautiful.
Yes, it is gorgeous.
What's your favorite place to go in Italy?
Well, my favorite city is Rome because of the history and everything. So I love to go to Rome. Every time I go home, I try to go a few days in Rome.
Yeah. Would you ever do like film and TV in Italy if you had the chance?
Yes. I had an opportunity for an HBO show, The Young Pope, with Jude Law. And the director was Paolo Sorrentino, which won an Oscar a few years ago. And I was on the short list for a recurring role on that. Didn't work out. But but I would love to work in Italy as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm rooting for you. That'd be great. Maybe you can finally not play a villain because your accent would be natural,
Right.
right?
Or I can contact the new Pope and ask to put a good word with the Italian people.
Yeah, I
Since
feel
it's
like the Pope would definitely like know people at HBO to get you a job.
Right.
He's the Pope, right?
Right. Yeah.
So moving into LA, you get here, and how long from when you moved here to when you booked your first job?
11 years. I'm just
No, I was like, no, come on.
People get discouraged. I say, oh, I don't want to do that. No, I would say I was lucky because my agent in Miami, I convinced her to come here, and she became my manager. So that's how I started to go out and audition.
Oh, that's
Eventually,
great.
she helped me to find a commercial agent. I would say probably a few months, 2 or 3, 4 months for the first job.
That's
I think
actually really good.
think
Most
what-
people, it takes them longer.
one of my first job, I think, was Days of Our Lives. I play a French bad guy on that one. Yeah.
How is doing soaps are very different. That's like doing live theater.
Yes, they're very different. Yeah, and you know, you go on set, you as an actor, you're trying to give different takes. You know, bring something more. One take and you move. One take and you move.
Yeah, they're so fast.
Yeah, very fast. Yeah.
I've never done a soap, but I've heard all about them, and I find them so scary. Were you scared?
I wasn't scared. Yeah, I was surprised that it was so fast.
Yeah.
Fast paced.
It's like a daydream. Like you go in and you say your thing, and it's like, bam, you're gone. You're out.
Unless the producers and the writers decide to shoot an extra episode that day and they throw you 5 new pages to prepare in 10 minutes. It didn't happen to me, but it happens to a lot of guys.
A lot
in
of
the soap
people,
opera,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, but again, it's like a runaway train, and you're just like trying to hold on as an actor because you just, man, talk about using improv,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Which that comes in handy for you being a stand-up comedian because a lot of stand-up comedy is improv.
Right. Oh, I love improv. You know, when you go to audition, they can really do improv with you because they give you sides that that's what you do. But the few times that they were like doing some improv, I said, well, like bring it on. I can be here all day. I love to do improv. And I remember I think for the union, the actor union, SAG, they have the rule that, they can do improv because I think all started with a commercial, a TV show that someone did an improv at the audition. He didn't get the job. And then they used what he did. They hired someone else and they used that in a TV show and the guy sued them. So that's how the whole thing started, I think.
Really? Huh. Well,
Interesting, right?
you learn something new every day.
I know, right?
So many ins and outs to this industry.
I've seen it. I won't say the project. I've seen a couple of projects that I did a self-tape audition and I did something original and new that I come up with. And then when I saw the episode, I'm like, that looks familiar. I think that's exactly what I did at the audition. And it wasn't written on the paper. Interesting. But then again, you win one time, you lose another time. It's part of the game.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty impressive that you moved here and within a couple months you had booked your first job. Because that's not a story most people can say. And then after doing daytime TV, what was your next job that you ended up working on?
My next job, I did that one.
Meaning, like, was there a big gap between the first job that you booked and the second one?
The first, like I said, to come here without much training and being new in this town, it wasn't easy. So it took me, like, I would say 2 or 3 years to work constantly.
Yeah.
So it was a job here and there, maybe one job every 2 or 3 months. Then you get a commercial. Commercial helps because you make good
commercials
money if it's
are
union.
great.
So yeah, I don't remember exactly when. I think Criminal Minds was one of my first jobs that I did also with my manager friend. Her name is Norma. I say hi to Norma. She should listen.
And then also for you, like you move out here, you start working a little bit, but now you're also producing some films because you also helped produce or were in a film that benefited autism,
Yes.
right?
Yes, that is correct. It's called Randy's Canvas. We shot in Rhode Island. It was a great story. And again, I wasn't playing a villain, so I was very excited. I was playing the Italian owner of an art gallery.
Oh, that's
very
nice.
flamboyant / gay. It was great because, again, it was a different role for me, and it was for a good cause. It's a non-profit film to benefit autism.
And did you also help produce that film?
I helped, I think I'm listed as a co-producer, but, I helped, yes, I helped on set. I helped when cast some of the actors. So it was great. And now I'm producing a couple of projects. One is about, it's a psychological thriller / horror, and it talks about mental illness, which is something very up to date.
Yeah. Are you also a writer on that project?
No, I'm not a writer. I'm a reader. I can read what other people write.
Hey, that everyone has their strengths.
Right.
But yeah, so after you worked on the autism project, where can people find it if they want to watch it?
I think it's on demand. It's still on demand. There's probably out there on what's it called?
Yeah, it's
Redbox,
just
Redbox.
on demand. Yeah. But also like on your TV, like your smart TV, you can just go to on demand
I
and find
think
it.
they can find it, yes. And also on demand now, I think, is Saving Flora, another movie I did with David Arquette and Ortega, with a 5,000-pound elephant. The elephant is the star of the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
It's a great story.
You weren't trying to steal him, were you?
What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was trying to get...
You just have like a really exotic pet collection dream.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yes, and it's funny because I know, I knew the producers, and I'm like, well, I can ask a favor. I can ask them, hey, make me like a nice guy in this movie. So, no, you're perfect to play this role. I'm like, okay. And I did a movie about human trafficking with Ashley Judd.
Okay.
Same thing. And the producers, dear friend of mine. I'm like, okay.
You are the trafficker.
I am the guy from Mexico that brings the girls to the U.S. Yes.
You can't even be surprised at this point. You're like, yep, I get it.
That's why, when I did this TV show for CW, Supernatural, and I was playing a priest, an Italian priest, and all my friends that were disappointed said, you didn't kill anybody, and they didn't even kill you. What's going on? I was like, well, can I be a good guy for once?
I love that they were as equally upset that you didn't die, that you also didn't kill someone, but mainly you didn't die.
They was the whole episode waiting for the moment that I was pulling the gun out, and I'm like, it didn't come.
There you go. Well, that's, it's nice to have a little variety, show that you can make it through an episode of TV without murdering or being murdered.
That is correct.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's your favorite role that you've gotten to play so far?
Well, I love to play the priest on Supernatural. That was a great role. I also like the role Maurizio Doro, which is the character I play on Randy's Canvas, the film about autism. Those are two of my favorites, I will say. Because, playing the villain is fun and it's work. I'm not turning down any work, of course. But, at the end, when you play the Italian mobster or the cartel guy from Mexico, or more than anything, I play Russian and Eastern European. So when you're playing the Russian drug dealer like 10 times, it's fun, but, you want more challenge, you want more challenging things in your life.
Well, speaking of challenging things, you've worked on some really high-profile projects. Like you worked on the assassination of Jennie Versace, which that got all of the awards. Oh, my goodness. So much press. And everybody was in it, including Penelope Cruz, which is phenomenal. What a powerhouse. How was it working on a set like that versus working on like network television or a film? Like what differentiates for you the different mediums?
Yes. Well, Ryan Murphy is a genius. We all know he does such a great project. It was great working. I was one of the very few Italians on the show, even though it's a show about Italians. And I remember the director saying, Massi, say whatever you want, just let us know what you're saying. So I improvised also some Italian. It was great. My scenes were with Penelope, that she plays Donatella Versace, Darren Criss. It was amazing. And he won an Emmy, won a Golden Globe, SAG Award, you name it. It was, excuse me, a fantastic opportunity for me to do something different again because I'm playing a gay designer. So
yeah,
I'm
How was working with
guy.
Penelope?
Look at that.
You are, and that was a big, super well known project. I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it.
And Penelope, she's fluent in Italian as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she said that before she took the role, she called Donatella and was like, I've been offered this job, but I just need to know that it's okay. And Donatello was like, if anybody was going to play me, I'm okay with it being you.
Right.
So that was the only reason she took the job. I mean, how scary to have like Donatella Versace have to say like yes or no because she's your friend in real life. So it's like that double-edged sword of portraying someone, but also portraying someone that you know.
It's more, I would say, it's more respect than she called it. And, I think she would have done it anyway.
I don't know. It's her friend. She might not have if Donatella was like, please no.
Well, if my friend, a friend of mine asked me if he can play a role, I would say yes.
Well, she did. So
Yeah,
it worked
and if
out.
I call a friend of mine to ask to play a role, to play him, and he say no, I say, well, what's wrong with you? And I will play it anyway. No, I'm just kidding. It was great. They're very good friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she looks amazing. She really looks like her.
Yeah, she completely transformed. Did you do a double take on set having to work with her?
No, it was like we did like there was like some of the scene that were cut, and which they were they always cut stuff, but it was great. We did some emotional scene, and we both were crying. We were talking about Jennie being sick, and she's just phenomenal. She's great to work with, very nice.
Yeah. And did you guys actually film that in Miami?
No, we shot. Yeah, they shot part of it in Miami. I personally shot here, this Sony.
See, I was like rooting for you to get a vacation out of this job too.
Yeah, I'm from Miami. I would have loved to go to Miami.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, you got to go home?
Right, talking about Miami.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before about Jumanji, I thought I was going to Hawaii, and then 2 weeks later, I booked Bad Boys for Life, and I was all excited. I said, I'm going to Miami, and then
You're shooting here, aren't you?
back to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. That's another movie. Didn't they shoot the originals in Miami?
Yes. No, they shot most of this one also in Miami.
Just not you.
Some part, yeah, just not me. Yeah.
So what we're getting out of this, Massi, is that you basically should probably get an apartment in Georgia. That's what I'm hearing. Is like you need a second place in Atlanta.
Probably, yes.
This is where you work now.
Yes. And when I shot that, it was very cold. Going back to the cold, I think it was like 36 degrees.
Still no surfboard.
And the movie is based in Miami, and the two directors that were telling the guys in the background, guys, you're sweating, you're hot, forget that it's cold, you were in Miami, you can't look like you're cold.
Yeah.
So, but it was challenging because, sometimes you can't control your body. If it's cold, it's cold. So they were spraying them to make them see.
Oh, well, that makes you even colder.
I know, because they have to sweat because in Miami it's humid and it's hot.
Yeah.
So it was hilarious.
Man, that sounds like... Were you also covered in sweat? Did you have to go through that? No. Okay.
I have a little heater next to me, like, keep me warm.
There you go. That's winning right
Everybody
there.
had the heaters, by the way.
Yeah, but did you use those little pocket warmers?
Yes,
Those are the best.
I did. They're great.
Oh my gosh, I don't go home to New York without them. Like
Those
you
are
need
great.
them.
They really help. Yeah.
They make all the difference. Like even if you just have them in your pockets and you don't even have your body on them, like just having that little heat in your clothes.
Right.
Game changer.
Absolutely.
But I know we can't really talk that much about Bad Boys because it's not out yet.
It's coming out January 17th.
Mm-hmm. But Jumanji's out, and now that you're doing more films, what if you could choose right now? Would you be more interested in doing like a limited series, a long-term network series, or a film? If you had endless options as to like what you would jump on board for.
I would love to get a major reoccurring role of anything that shoots in Hawaii.
Okay.
So there's a few projects in there, Magnum PI,
Yeah.
Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You never know.
There's another one too, isn't there? I feel like there's a third one that's shooting out there. Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
don't remember. Well, any of those is fine.
Anyways, yeah. So Hawaii
And playing
is
a
like
good
your
guy.
next destination. I mean, but you would play a bad guy if they told you could bring your surfboard.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So also for filming for you, because you have had all these different experiences, for people who want to get into acting and who don't understand the different genres, how do you approach it when you're shooting on set for a film, a limited series, or daytime like you've done before?
How do you approach?
Working in the different mediums. So for them, like, you have a quick turnaround in daytime. Do you get to take more time with your work when you do film? do you find that you have to speed it up, the process? I'm just asking for people that are at home and they're fans of yours and they want to get into it. What would you
I would say
explain it to
that,
them?
that in movies, time is money, obviously. So the more takes, the more money. So they try to get it, as quick as possible. But I would say you have more time in movies, so you can, work on your character. You have more time to try different things. And depend again, soap opera is very fast. TV shows, you still have some a good amount of time because let's say a TV show shoots in about 10 days. Mm-hmm. So sometimes now they're doing they're doing a 1 day guest star. So you have to
1
shoot.
day guest star?
Yes.
Wow.
They came up with that. Before the guest star was like the
You're
main
all
guest
week.
star on that
Yeah.
episode. Now they have a 1 day guest star. So yeah.
Okay.
And then they have a large co-star that works 4 or 5 days. It's a little confusing, but
Yeah, they're really playing with those narratives.
I know, right?
But now, so you were in Jumanji, and because Jumanji is a game, I actually have a game for you that we're going to play.
Oh, that's great.
I'm going to ask you some questions. See if you would have survived
All right.
Jumanji. Are you ready?
Yes.
So my first question is, how many minimum players do you need to play Jumanji?
4.
2.
Oh,
You actually just need 2.
okay.
I don't know how they're going to get out, but it's a minimum of 2.
Well, I wasn't ready actually for the question. So you want to do it again? I thought you asked me how many seasons we have. We have 4 seasons, right? We have winter, we have summer, we have spring, and we have.
Massi, you are so stretching this, but okay.
I'm sweating now.
How many minimum players do you need to play Jumanji?
Easy question too.
Is Jumanji a real word?
Yes.
Yes, it is. You're right. It is from the...
I knew it, but I want to give some suspense.
Suspense?
Yeah, suspense. Yeah.
It is a Zulu word that means many effects.
Right.
How long is the Jumanji board timer?
Pass.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, I can't pass.
No,
Oh,
no.
It's not like the
You can-
Family Feud.
No.
Oh,
It's okay if
I
you
have to
don't
put
know.
my hand back too.
So how long is the Jumanji board game? Remember in the original, they
Yes.
were racing against time.
Yes.
So like Robin Williams and them, they had a timer and there was a time set that they had to beat to survive. And do you remember what that was? And if you don't, that's okay.
No,
but you can throw a number out.
I think I know. I think the answer is 24 hours.
45 minutes.
That was close.
Yeah, so super close.
So why are they making a 2 hours movie when the movie is about only in 45 minutes?
I mean, because people want more than, 45 minutes of everybody.
Okay. Or 2-1, right?
Yeah,
Two-
absolutely.
okay.
How do you get started in the Jumanji board game? What do you have to do to get started in the game?
You have to toss the dice.
Yes.
And if you get 6-6, you're first.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's first to roll a 6.
I completely.
Yeah, no, but
I
you're right.
pretend that I knew.
You do. He did it. Hey, round of applause. Round of applause. And then is Jumanji really a game?
Yes.
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 And what are the 3 types of ways you can play Jumanji?
The 3-1?
There's 3 versions of the game.
Well, first. Oh, we ran out of time.
No, we
I was
didn't.
gonna
I'll
say
tell you.
I knew it.
I'll tell you.
I knew
Do you want me to tell you? Do you need a lifeline?
Yeah.
Is this you begging for a lifeline? For the
Yes.
record, he's begging for a lifeline.
Okay.
So it's a board game.
Yes.
It's a video game.
Yeah, I know that.
Well, you could have said that.
Okay.
I left it open for you.
What is the third one?
And a mobile game.
See, a mobile game, I didn't know. But
Neither
yeah,
did I, but I looked it up.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Also, probably I'm gonna be on a video game.
Maybe, yeah.
How about if
That'd
they
be
do like
really
a
cool.
bobblehead of a switchblade with a little bazooka?
That'd be hilarious.
I know, right?
That would be actually like a fun bobblehead to have.
I know. That would be great.
But I feel like your wife should be hanging off your shoulder trying to like run away.
I know, right? Yeah.
She was a mess. Okay, so moving on into thank you for playing the game with me, by the way. You did
Absolutely.
great.
Did
You
I win?
survived. Yeah, sure.
Great. I
Yeah.
survived.
Remember you have like 3
Right.
lifelines. You only lost 2, so
3
you got
tattoos.
out.
All right. That's
There you
good.
go. High five.
right.
Bam. You got out. So I just want to bring up that you are doing Bad Boys.
Yes.
And I know you can't say too much about it, but if you could tell fans a little bit about what they have to look forward to in January, and when it opens in Italy, you could tell them.
I don't know when it opens in Italy. I know it opens here on January 17. Jumanji in Italy opens on Christmas Day.
There you go.
Going back to Bad Boys, you have to expect an amazing movie with a lot of action and a lot of laughter, which that's what we need this time of year.
We do need more action and laughter. Absolutely. And how long did you shoot on that film for?
I shot, excuse me, I was there 1 week.
Okay. They keep dragging you out to Atlanta just to freeze you and then send you back.
That's fine. I can do that. They have airplanes.
They do. So aside from Hawaii, which I hope that you get a role there soon, we can't wait to see you in Bad Boys 2. And is there anything else that you're working on?
Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3, that's
This
right.
is the third one. We've been waiting for 15 years for the third one.
That's right.
Bad Boys for Life, actually. They changed the title.
That's what threw me off, is because it was like Bad Boys 2, and then Bad Boys for Life.
You're forgiven.
Thank you. But you're working on other projects as well, besides Bad Boys, at the moment.
Well, I'm working on 2 of the projects I'm producing, and trying to get in pre-production probably in January, February, so...
I wish you the best of luck with that. And you said one of them was a horror thriller.
Yes.
On mental illness.
Yes.
And what's the title of that project?
The title of the project right now is Experiment 77.
Okay. That sounds like a really chill family movie.
I know, right? It's great.
And then the other project, you said you have 2 projects you're working on.
The other project is about human trafficking again. So, yeah, it's a very sad subject.
But an important subject.
Very important, yeah.
That's really great that you're going after films and stories, like wanting to tell stories that are like deeply impactful to actual issues that are happening today in society. Is that what attracts you for producing?
Yes, sometimes, for producing, when you produce a movie, you try to make money too, obviously. But as an actor, not as a producer, as an actor, sometimes a small indie project about autism is more rewarding than being a big blockbuster. Not that I'm turning down any role on big movies,
Sure.
but it's more rewarding. You're doing something, and when we shot the movie about autism, we have autistic kid came on set, and we had them help on set, and we had one of the kids call action, one of the scene. It was very rewarding. It was priceless.
That's really beautiful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Massi. Will you let everyone know where they can find you on social media so they can hunt you down?
They can find me on Instagram, Massi Furlan.
Hi, guys, and I'm your host, as always, Carolina Bonetti, and you can find me on Instagram at LenaBean113. Thank you so much for joining us for another exciting episode of iTalk Movies.
Ciao.
Ciao.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.